It's summer in my garden and it is absolutely beautiful. It just brings me so much joy and it makes me so happy to see all of the flowers in bloom and to see all of the birds, the bumblebees, the hummingbirds. It is absolutely beautiful and it just makes me so proud to know that I built this with my own two hands, piece by piece, bit by bit, plant by plant. It is so beautiful, and I want to share with you all the things that I've done in the month of June. So let's get into it. Hello and welcome back to my garden for the month of June. This is my monthly update where I share with you what I've been doing in the garden as well as what other things I need to get done. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you what I've done in the past several weeks. Not a whole lot, but there are a few things. I'm also going to share with you some chores, some tasks that definitely need to get done today. I can't spend the whole weekend in the garden because I have other obligations, but that's okay. Any time that I can get here is just wonderful. So in terms of what I've done, I redid one of the beds in my garden, one of the larger beds. I felt like it didn't have the symmetry that I wanted it to have, and honestly, I'm not sure that my redo gave it that symmetry. It definitely looks better, but I'll share that with you. Of course, you know I bought plants and I planted those plants, so there are some new additions to the garden. It's looking a lot more full. It just keeps getting, plants getting bigger and bigger. And then the last thing that I did was I bought a few decor pieces, and I love to infuse the garden with decor. So I bought a few more pieces and I'll share those with you. In terms of what we have to do today in the garden, it's not a whole lot, but I need to fertilize my citrus trees. I've got 6 trees that desperately need to be fertilized. I can tell the leaves are starting to turn yellow, and I was supposed to do that last month, but I didn't do it, so better late than never. I also have to fertilize the rest of my plants, and I use a fish emulsion. I really like that a lot, and they seem to love it. But the only thing is that it's pretty stinky when you when you spray it. But it goes away. So I need to do that to make them very happy. I have a few straggler plants that I need to put in the ground and get those in. It's just the perfect time to do that. And then the last thing that I have to do is I have a climbing jasmine. It's a different kind of jasmine than the standard kind, but it's a really pretty one. And it's bottom heavy, so I need to train it up my pergola in the garden. So those are the things that I'm going to get done today. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm in my garden shed with all my concoctions and tools and stuff, and to put it in perspective, I haven't fertilized my plants in a while that I don't even know where some of the things are. So give me a minute, let's find them. They were right in front of my face. So I've got these fertilizer spikes, which I really like. This isn't sponsored. These are just things that I use. So I'm going to use these spikes for the citrus. And then I found my container. I use one of these. I always get myself twisted around the axle or about it in terms of like the ratios. But anyway, this is what I use. So I've got to figure that out. And then here's my fish emulsion. So for this fertilizer, it says that I need 3 tablespoons for every 25 square feet. So I'm going to double it. And by the way, this is not sponsored. I love this fish fertilizer. I don't like the way it smells, but it works really, really well. So I'm going to use 6 tablespoons just because aside from the outdoor garden, I've got to come on the side beds. And I've also got a container garden that I need to spray, so I'm going to double that up. So let's get this mixed up. I'm just going to pretend like I'm cooking and measure it. I'm not going to pull out tablespoons, so let's do it. Let's take 2 of these guys. And let's get into the garden. this point, I'm not trying to bathe the plant in the emulsion. What I'm trying to do here is just just put some down into where the stem meets the soil, because I don't want to water. There's no sense in putting it on mulch. It's pretty sticky. Let me put this hose away, and the next thing I'm going to do is, I don't know if it's capturing it here, but this really pretty, I forget, it's like an Argentinian jasmine or something like that. I don't know, but it's really, really pretty. And it blooms later. It's going to bloom later in the season. So I just want to get it set up. So let me put this water hose away and get started. I'm going to show you what this plant looks like. So you can see here that it's see how it's bottom heavy here? And really what I need to do, I mean, I'm probably going to lose some of it, honestly, but you can see here it's really bottom heavy, and it really needs to go up this pergola. So I need to lift it up, but it's going to be hard because I'm probably going to lose some of this. If my husband were here, it'd be a lot easier, but he's out enjoying his day on the motorcycle, but that's okay. I am determined. Probably should have taken these gloves off. Ta-da! There's a will, there is a way, and I have got a will. So on my way to looking at my rose, I'm here at my plum tree, and I spy, I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but I spy a plum. I feel like they're sour still. I really want a plum so bad. But these are not ready. Bummer. I really want one. So now I want to share with you some of the decor pieces that I told you that I got. And like this orb here I got it at Home Goods, and it is this part, here. So it's metal, and I want it to get really old and weathered, but it's so pretty. I love the way it sort of sways in the wind. And then when this, I think it's an Argentine jasmine plant, when it starts to blossom with this, I think it's just gonna look really stunning. It just makes me so happy. I found this cool, I like it because it's like old and rusted, but it's a plant stand, and it's got 2 levels. So I've got a little plant down here. That's not gonna be what's gonna go here, but I just wanted to put something there just to show you. And then I put this pot on top, and I'm still kind of playing with it, but I got it for $5. And it's like this metal plant stand, and I like that it's old, but I am loving it. That's my latest find. So let me show you what else I got. So this is my most recent, like just a couple of days ago. And I think it looks really, really pretty. I haven't really decided if it's going to stay here. I was trying to I'm gonna put her either in a bed, or I was thinking of just putting like a bunch of pots, but like plants kind of drape over her. I'm not really sure. I love the way she's lying there, and I think it's really, really pretty. But what I don't like too much is it's got this light here, and it does illuminate her at night. I tested it out last night, and it does illuminate, so that's kind of a cool feature, but it's a cheesy light. It's not a nice one, so I think I might remove it, and I can figure something out that could go there to cover it up. I'm not too worried about it, but I just think it's really, really pretty, and it just really makes me happy. It looks pretty dramatic. You don't get the full effect, but when you walk into the garden, it's really pretty to come upon her. So I think it's really, really pretty, and I'm really happy about it. It's a nice score. So the last thing that I got was the obligatory, I've been wanting one. It's like the copper sun, but this has got, it's copper and it's got a sun, it's got a moon, and I like that they have faces. They look really cute. And they've got stars, and even the stars have faces, which I think is adorable. Love it. When I first started gardening, I found this sign, and little did I know, I thought it was cute and funny, but little did I know that it would really capture the essence of my plant love. And it's above my sink, and it says, "It's not hoarding if it's plants," which I thought was really funny. But that's not new. I've had that for a while, but I've never shared it. So I think it's funny. So let me zoom in so you can really see it. It's later in the afternoon. It's a little cooler now, and so it's time to start fertilizing the citrus. So this is what I do. I take these spikes, and it comes with this plastic cap. So you spike it into the ground. You can see it's like a sharper point here. And then you put this on the top, and then you take a mallet, and you tamp it in. I'm crouched down here to show you this tree. I'm not so convinced that we'll end up keeping it. It's sort of like a mini tangerine tree. In fact, I haven't even taken off the fruit from last year. Should probably do that. I'm going to go ahead and start my first one here. It's really simple. I'm going to do it where the water line is. One down. So for this tree, I'm going to use two just because the bark of the tree is wider. And again, I'm going to put it by the drip where the water drips down. I'm in the trenches. This is the dirty work. It's gross. I hope no spiders crawl into my hair. That would really freak me out. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, that's done. Hopefully I don't get any spiders in my hair. I keep saying that, but done. So you're probably wondering, why don't you cut this citrus back so that you don't have to go deep underneath the canopy? But the reason is that I'm really paranoid because last year I thought I was doing the right thing, and I cut a lot of it back, and I exposed the bark, and the tree almost died, and it didn't produce any oranges that year. And these are good. These are Cara, I think, pink oranges, and they're delicious. But I really screwed it up, and so this year I just left it alone, and it really was really prolific. It had so many oranges, so I'm paranoid. So I would rather go crawling underneath this canopy than risk killing it and then risk not having any oranges. So that's why I'm doing this craziness. Okay, let's move on. I don't think you can see my face. You can see me work. And essentially here, this is my tangerine tree, and this one is a really good tree, really good fruit. So I'm going to add to this one, I'm going to add two. There she blows. That makes me happy, 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 happy. So this is the easiest of all of them. This is my lime tree, and it was a tiny little thing, but now it's pretty big. So, and it's got, you can't see them, but a ton of little limes. It makes me so happy. So this is the last one, and is that the last one? Yeah, that's the last one. So let's finish this one. So now I want to show you the bed I was talking about earlier, the bed that I redid because I felt like it didn't have any symmetry. And I'm not convinced that it's exactly what I want it to be. And I think partly because some of the plants are kind of small, but I'm going to show you, I think it looks better, but I'm going to put a picture somewhere here to show you what it did look like. And then I'm going to show you now what it does look like, but I'm going to do a little bit more work in it and just keep adding to it. There's something back here that I need to pull out, but I'm not going to do that today because it's adding a nice pop of color. So let me show you. So really this area here is what I cleaned up, and you can see there's some smaller plants that I planted and I just trimmed in the back. I trimmed those down a lot. And I planted some things. I'm really loving this purple. I don't know what it's called, but it's really pretty and the bees love it. So I feel like it looks neater, but it's still off in my mind. And I want it to look like my other beds, but I don't know. Let me get my shadow out of the way. I think this is going to give you a better perspective of this side garden. I mean, it looks pretty, but I think I really like down here. I think that looks really pretty. And you can see up against the wall, the clematis is blooming here, and it's so pretty, and it's climbing. And you can see my apricots on the apricot tree are almost ready. I think maybe another few days. And my climbing rose is really pretty. But yeah, overall I'm pleased with it. I think it looks a little neater. I think it's just because the plants are smaller and they just have to get bigger and fill in. I think because I'm still seeing the mulch. But I think it definitely looks neater. I did, tidy up back in that corner there by the citrus, by the orange tree. That's the Cara orange tree. I think it looks better. But what I want to show you, look at how beautiful this climber is. Look at how pretty the petals are. It's like they're ruffled, and it smells amazing. This is a climber that I got from Heirloom Roses last year, and it's going to start climbing. But I just love how like sort of scalloped edges. It's beautiful. Really happy about that. Got a few plants here that I want to get in the ground. It's getting a little windy, so let me go ahead and get that done. I wanted to plant the last stragglers, but first I had to add some vole deterrent pellets to get rid of the voles. But I planted this beautiful Villandry marigold. I planted a few of those, and then I picked up these African daisies. I don't remember the variety, but they're really pretty and really, really stunning. I wanted them to dot the border of this garden bed. Whew, that was more tedious than I had planned, and I had to think through the drip lines, which threw me for a loop. I hadn't really anticipated that, but I'll show you in a moment what I did. But I essentially planted like 6 small plants down the end of my border here, and I don't want to keep adding drip lines, because then some of these plants are annual, so when they die, I'm going to have a mystery of like drip lines that I'm not going to necessarily know where they're at. So I'm trying to eliminate that. But it was really tedious, and I was crouching a lot, and it's really hard to do. I'm no spring chicken. So I'm going to show you what I did. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I planted another one of these Villandry over here, Villandry marigolds that are really, really special. So let me just get this cleaned up. That's it, all done. Okay. Tomorrow I'm going to come back and do a couple of other little things, but I'm really happy with what's going on, and yeah, time to go inside. As you know that I gotta buy more plants, and actually I'm working on a little project, and I want to fill in some gaps on this planter that I'm doing. So I got something, but I think I need something else. So let's go check out my favorite place. I love these side beds as you enter. They're so inspirational and just really get me going, like in terms of what I want to do in my own garden. But let's go inside and just try to just get what I said I was going to get. Okay. We'll see. Let's keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. I'm not going to look at every single plant. I'm on a mission. Let's go to the succulent section. Look at this bed. So pretty. Wow. This is my succulent section here. This is what I'm looking for. There's a train in the background, but I actually did pretty good. I'll show you what I got. I was pretty disciplined. I did get 2 extra plants that I'm not going to say that I didn't need, but 2 extra plants that I bought and I really love, so I just got 2 more. So let me show you what I got. So I said I wasn't going to garden more than the day, but just don't believe me. There are 2 things that you should never believe me, and I shouldn't even believe myself. One, when I say that I'm only going to garden the one day. Never true. 2, when I say that I don't really need to buy many more plants. Crazy talk, crazy talk. So anyhow, I did go to the garden center. I'm working on a container that I wanted to do, and I got some inspiration in my own head. And so I thought, oh, let me go pick up a couple of things to round it out. And of course, you know how that goes. And then I found a few other things. So anyway, I'm going to show you what I got. So this is my haul here. These are some of the plants. So let's get into them. Behold, this beauty. It's so cool. I have to be careful because it's got thorns. I got this stone crop that I'm going to surround around it, and it'll spread, and it just has these little pretty pink flowers, which I think will accent the red on the plant. So I got 2 of those. This plant, so this plant, which is a yucca, it's pretty cool. I like how it's a little bit different than most yuccas. It's sort of like a pale green, silvery green with some red in it. And this is a yucca D Blue Boy, which this one is really pretty. This is going to go in the garden in the ground. 2 of these for the container that I'm building here. I'm not sure, but I like these a lot. It's sort of like a mound of a succulent, and it's got these really pretty magenta flowers, and this one is called Delasperma. It's called Red Mountain. This one, which is a gazania, and it might not really capture and it might not really be very striking, but I got these and I put them in my garden, and they were like one of those pleasant surprises. They were really, really pretty. So I got 2 more because I have other places that I really want to put these. So I got 2 of those. This one is a Trucrium Beronicum. Don't really think I'm saying that right, but I'll put a picture up so you can see. It's actually really, really pretty, and when it gets larger, I think it's just going to be much better than what I have in there. So that's my haul, and so let's get back into the garden. Okay, so let's get this planted up. I kind of found a spot. Who knows? I might change my mind, but for now, I think it's a good spot. It gets some shade, then it also is going to get some bright sun. So because they're succulents and cactus, it doesn't need a lot of room, so I don't want to fill this entire container with soil. So what I like to do is I just save all these little pots and I just use them as filler. I'm crouching because I want you to see it as if you would walk upon it when you turned the corner. I love creating spaces where they're sort of a surprise or just something else for the eyes to see. So this is what it looks like. I think it looks really pretty. I really like the stone crop on the edge. I think it'll just add some nice contrast, but I think it looks really good. All right, let's move on to the next. So this had to go. I was on my way out, I really was, and then I realized this thing was really overtaking the garden, and it really starts off as like a little innocent, literally little flower like this, and then it just becomes this crazy plant. It's pretty, but it's sort of become invasive. So it's all over the garden, so I had to pull her out. Okay, so I'm gonna end it here. I need to go inside and I need to go out into the world and take care of some things that I committed to, so I'm going to do that. I'm not pooped, honestly. I didn't really spend a whole lot of time out in the garden. I just got a few things done and got to go plant shopping today, which was really a lot of fun. So, you know, as much as I make these videos for you and to create content, honestly, the garden ones, I feel like I make them for myself because I just love to see my garden every month and to see how it's changing. And honestly, I didn't think that June had seen many changes, but when I went back and looked at my May one, gosh, so much really has changed. It's amazing. So I'm really looking forward to the summer months, and I know that I've planted some things that are more summer plants, and so I'm excited to see how the garden transitions and what they're going to be looking like. So I'm really, really excited about that. So I'm going to end it here, and as always, I want to thank you for watching. And please do subscribe to my channel. It does help me tremendously. I'm also going to end it by just kind of showing you some footage, some final footage of just what it looks like after I've done all the little things that I did. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.